You know who else is the same way as you right now? Is working with Juju, Davey Millsaps. He has been over here to co-host a show with me, and he's like, if I could do it again, I would train. I would really train. I didn't do anything. I thought I was working hard. I wasn't working hard. And you and him, I mean, like, I'm not putting you on his level. You probably did more than he did, but goddamn, you guys won a lot of races without like living the Alden Baker life, you know? So,
yeah.
Yep.
Look, I think that was the reason I was able to ride as long as I did. Obviously, a lot of guys get burnt out really early,
right.
And I look at it from a facility standpoint. I understand Ricky was just kind of vocal about how bad facilities are for the sport and whatever else, and I was kind of like, not because I love facilities, not because I'm wanting to defend my facility or anything that I'm doing, but I'm kind of like, kiss my ass, Ricky. Shit, we were all having parties and relaxing and not doing nothing before you showed up. I mean, you're the one that changed the whole game.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So my point to the guys is, like, look, this might burn you out, right? But the reality is that if you don't do it, you may not ever get the chance to get burnt out.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, right?
Yeah. I just think some of that, too, like, I look at K-Dub and how natural he was at riding, right? And when you're that good at something and you're winning and someone else is trying to tell you, hey, you should do it this way, and you're like, well, fuck off, because I'm doing fine just without, what you're talking about. So I guess in my eyes, you'd be like, I think I'm doing the right thing. And then once you step out of that, you kind of see, oh, I could have did this, this, and this and would have been better. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, you touched on it the perfectly. I think the part where you just said, hey, the fuck off part of it. Yeah, I need to not have so much of that.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think I had too much of that, and I needed to do, I just...
Oh.
Was a big thing, and the ability to show up on the line. And look, my good days were great. Like, I think my good days were to a point where I don't think anybody could have beat me. But my bad days were something that was so atrocious that it was. That's where Ricky really had everybody. Like, his bad days was like a third, maybe a second.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. No, absolutely. You're right. Kevin Windham on the show, brought to you by EVS Sports. So have you got back on a dirt bike? Have you been motoing a little bit?
I have been motoing. Look, we sometimes in gear, but most of the time not. I'm really good at ripping sections. I love for the kids young adults, 19-year-old, whatever. I don't know if you could do it like that. Hey, hold on one sec there, buddy. Boy, let me
let me show you. Yeah.
Well, the cool thing that really drops their jaw is, like, I most of the time will do it on my bike. I'm still riding a Honda 450, but I'll jump on any of their bikes. 125, 250. It doesn't matter what make, model, size. I don't adjust bars. I don't adjust anything. I'm in tennis shoes. Maybe throw on a helmet. No goggles, no gloves, no nothing. And they're just like, holy shit. Are you serious right now?
Yeah, I bet, right? That's awesome. No, yeah, they're probably like, hey, check it out. Yeah, absolutely.
That was my question. I was like, have you ridden any other bikes enough to be like, oh, wow, look how far these bikes have come since you were racing?
They feel, yes, I ride all of them, which I haven't rode enough to where I'm really super, like, I don't have my setting, right? So that makes everybody's setting eligible to be my setting. And so I'm comfortable in that aspect. But, the bikes are incredible. Like, no, they're super good. And I kind of laugh a little bit because, and I think, look, you go to Loretta's and the start's plowed deep. I mean, naturally you want to get there first. I completely understand that. But the big quest for power, that should not be your focal point, right? Like, delivery, I get all that. Being able to control it, being able to lay it down properly, that is way bigger of an issue than just saying, oh, man, where's the closest mod shop? I need this thing to hit harder.
Yeah. It does seem like that's a new thing. Like, Kiefer and I just rode Jet Lawrence's bike at Washougal the day after the race. And yeah, that thing was so easy to ride.
Yeah.
It was vet friendly.
There's no hard hit anywhere.
No,
right.
There's none of that. And like, I rode Red Dog's bikes, Yamaha and Cowie, and dude, those things pulled your arms out. you know, and you don't need it anymore. Like get it to the ground. So
yeah, dude. I mean, from what little bit I hear from the TV, it sounds like Jet's riding a glorified sewing machine. Like, but it's just steadily moving. Like it's not barking. I mean, you don't really hear him just like, you know, knocking back the dB meters. But dude, the thing's just rolling and moving forward and planted and looks really good. Evidently, everybody says he does it different than everybody else in the world ever.
Ever did, yeah.
It's a brand new riding style.
Yeah, he actually is it's a cross between you.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say Ricky because Ricky's way more aggressive than all that. But you and like.
What about JMB?
Yeah, maybe JMB. It's pretty smooth. He's really smooth. It's pretty amazing.
You're throwing it way back for JMB.
I know, right? Hey, is there a kid?
You're throwing it way back with me. What am I talking about?
I know, dude. Trust me. Hey, we had somebody on. I want to say Levi Kitchen or someone on the show in the last 6 months, K-Dub, and they were telling us how they kind of remember the end of Carmichael era. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, I'm getting old. You know, like, that's what this kid didn't really see Carmichael race in person.
Well, that was one of my questions. Did any kids come up to you during the week of the ranch and say, hey, Windham, what's up, man? Did anybody come up to you?
My favorite, I was actually going to comment on that before you asked me. My favorite is when the dad comes up with a kid and tries to convince the kid that he remembers me. And, like, when the dad's not looking, I'm like, yo, bro, like, when were you born? He's like, man, I was born in 18. And I'm like, yeah, there's absolutely no way. I mean, unless you're just a YouTuber or something, there's absolutely no way you ever watch me do anything.
No.
And even the transfer thing where, like, forever you'd go to a track, an outdoor track, and the question would be, like, you know, that was the best thing ever that happened to Travis. Like, he learned to backflip nothing, right? So everywhere he went, people say, you going to backflip something? He'd be like, well, as a matter of fact, I am. But I would go to, like, these local tracks, and people would be like, hey, bro, you going to transfer? I'm like, there's not one jump within 1,000 feet of any other jump on this entire property. Like, I'm going to have a really tough time transferring anything.
Hey, listen, some of those transfers by the end got really scary, dude. Like, in the dark and everything. Like, fuck.
They did.
That's more pressure than racing, I feel like.
Well, he would do it at the end of practice, so everyone's standing around.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and then you would hit it while we're all just sort of in the stadium at practice, and you're like, oh, God, here it goes.
I'd throw up.
Yeah, it was nuts. We got a caller that wants to know if you remember Seattle when you had to stop and pull out Tough Block covers and still won. I'm guessing you don't.
Remember.
Oh, you do?
I do remember that race.
Okay.
Yeah, the mud race.
Oh, was that the mudder?
See, there's some out there that I remember. I believe it was a mud race. You could, if he's still on or can ask, I think it was a mud race. But, yeah, I got caught up in the Tough Blocks, pulled it out, and I do remember going to the win.
So
I remember those little things that make them, like, super, you know, hitting the Tough Block kind of thing.
Right.
Like, maybe not that I came out and went 2, 3, 4 or whatever.
Yeah, but something odd. Like, do you remember when you pulled off on the white flag and gave Timmy the overall at Washougal in 07?
Bro, now see, I remember pulling off, and I remember Timmy getting it. But who did I strip it from? Was that Albertine or was it somebody else that I stripped it from?
Yeah, good question. Don't know. Don't remember. Just remember that you gave Timmy the win. Good job. Yeah.
Because you guys weren't there. And you know what's crazy about this sport is, generally speaking, we got some pretty good dudes in this sport. But I didn't even get a 10% cut for that shit.
No. There's not. That's not going to happen. You know that.
No cut for Red Dog for me giving him the win.
No.
Chances of Windham remembering this is really low. But I actually rode with Kevin and Casey Johnson because I was friends with Casey. Kevin and Casey came up in Victorville. There was like this backyard supercross track we used to ride. And Casey brought up Kevin. And
it was muddy. It was muddy down there, maybe? Is that why?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
But I just know that Casey brought up Kevin, and we rode.
What year is Kevin? What bike is
This
Kevin?
is like Yamaha 125 Kevin.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And Casey, like, split fire Kawasaki.
Yeah.
So, and then I would be riding, and I'd be like, I ain't even ride today because I feel like a fucking idiot riding with these guys. And I just sat really all day and just hung out. I rode when they would go in and take a break. I would ride. They'd go out. I'd come in. So, do you even remember going up to, like, Victorville area and riding with Casey at some, like, really, really short supercross track?
I don't, but I'm sorry.
Kiefer's highlight of his life, but yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man, that was so long ago.
Allie's listening to the show right now, and he texted me that we took it from Langston.
Oh, okay.
Took it from Langston and went to Red Dog on that pull-off.
Nice,
flag lap at Shugo.
Good job. Love it. K-Dub, who are some of the kids you're working with? And, you know, just name a couple or one or whatever that really you like and you see a future in and he listens to you, and is there somebody that stands out for you that you're like, hey, this kid's got a real future?
Well, we got Landon Peppard from up in Alaska. He's been down for about a year. He's that dude's got heart like no tomorrow. Tanks, we call him Searles. He's got same thing, man. Like works so hard, fights for it. Wyatt Creighton's super talented guy up there in the Northwest. Most of our guys came from Washington area.
Okay, yeah.
A couple of Canadians up there riding the Canadian Nationals. So I know that's probably close to your heart.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
of course. So yeah, we actually had. I think we had 8 B riders make Loretta's, and had most of them all had their best years. Their best year this year. Several of them up in the top 10. So yeah, it was a good year for us.
Good, yeah, good to hear. Hey, obviously you've heard Honda never won anything after Ricky left, and you were part of that championship wise until this year. And Lars is a guy, Lars Lindstrom, the manager now, somebody you know well from your time there. I don't even know. I mean, you rode for Yamaha, you rode for Suzuki, you rode for FC forever. I don't know if Honda's got a place in your heart or not, but is it anything? Does it make you happy at all to see the Ride Red guys crushing it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I like, look, I think the way it goes is that you see these manufacturers, and I don't know why. I mean, obviously a good bike helps a lot, but I would think that you would agree with me that a good bike's not everything. The question is like, those years where heck, you pick the OEM. They just have these areas where they kill it, and I don't know why. Like the Yamaha days or the Honda days, or whatever days they were. Cowie, you can pick really, bar none. I guess Gas hadn't had their run yet, but like, what is it about it where this team just the stars align and they go out like crazy? And I've been on them before. I don't necessarily think it's the bike that makes all of the. No, look, it's a big part of it. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
But I don't think it's the. Why is it that all the stars align like they have right now for Honda? Although I think this one's going to be pretty insane on the lights ending the 250 class. But Honda's had a great year, and I can't really. I guess Lars is saying it's because of him.
Yeah, exactly.
But I will tell you one thing, Steve. I'll be damned if Honda says we've never finished second. All right, because I got that manufacturer more seconds than they can hang on the wall. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of runner-ups with the number 14 for sure.
Yeah, man. I got my fair share of seconds there, baby.
Listen,
I think I'm the winner in that division.
You made so much money in this sport, and good on you. You deserve it. But can you imagine if you had turned those 2s into 1s?
Oh
my God, K-Dub.